everyone. Welcome to this week's live. This is a big one. It's so exciting. So basically, if you're already there in game right now, then you know what I'm about to say. But we recently released a theater in Terravilla North. So you just head north from the fountain into Terravilla North, walk right, and there's a big theater. You can go inside. There's a bunch of people in there right now, and you can click on one of the microphones on stage and you can live stream this live stream from the game, which is just so exciting. It's just one of those little extra things we've been wanting to do for a while, and it's finally a reality. So we're very excited about it. However, for the time being, at least, if you want to leave a comment so that we can bring it up, you will have to do it. There we go. You will have to do it from the YouTube link itself. Maybe in the future we can add something, but for now, YouTube. Also, you can get an energy boost if you're in game right now. And yes, you did hear that little heart sound. If that bothers you, you can turn it off in the settings, click that purple button, and you can just turn off your sound. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, including some people from the Tastemakerz team. So let's get Luke up here now, and we can talk about some quick Pixels things before we bring up the Tastemakerz team.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the theater today. Over 109 of you, 108 of you in the theater with us right now. That's pretty funny. So yeah, this is a good way to keep engagement up. It's just a fun addition that we can add. So yeah, I'm excited that we finally got this one out today. And yeah, no, it's been a pretty exciting week for us. So, we released a new update this last week. Heidi can kind of dig into what exactly we released. We ended the Tastemakerz burger challenge, and that went spectacular. There were over 1 million burgers made, which let's repeat that again. Over 1 million burgers made over the course of that challenge. Absolutely insane stats. And yeah, that was a super fun way to end it. We live streamed on Monday just to kind of close things out. It was very wholesome. And yeah, we really appreciate you all being there with us. And then, we also started to introduce new features that allow on-chain transparency of our player base, of how we handle bots, and all that as well too. And with that, we've gotten to see us kind of get tracked by some of these Web3 player-based trackers like DApp Radar and things like that as well too. So super fun and exciting week in the last week. And yeah, we're really excited to have the Forge team with us as well. Forge is the team behind Tastemakerz. They have an AIP proposal that's up for voting as well. I think the voting ends really, really soon around the accelerator, but they can basically explain that later as well. Really cool stuff that they're doing, plugging into the Yuga ecosystem and providing support around that. Tastemakerz was kind of a taste of what we could do initially with that while we started to integrate some different Bored Ape IP in terms of like the AFCC and the quest line, in terms of, the Serum energy drink that we integrated. We love what they're doing with that larger ecosystem, and we can't wait to tap into that more. So yeah, if you own any ape, go and check out the proposal also. They can dive into that a bit more as well. And then, yeah, in terms of future updates, so we still have more coming. Big update next week as well from our team. One that we've been waiting for a really long time. So we're super excited about that update. We think it'll, make playing the game a lot easier for all of you. You can bring it with you. You can that's all I'm going to say with that. But yeah, big update coming next week. We think, if our player base is this active now, when we release that update next week, we expect it to grow a bit. And then we're getting closer and closer to the release of Pixel too. So obviously that's super exciting. We'll be sharing more details about all of that soon. So yeah, Heidi, do you maybe want to dig into the update and
Okay, let's quickly talk through everything that came out yesterday. So I will start with, we have the theater. We have new buildings in Terravilla North. So we have Barney's Bazaar, some new yard work for lovely Karen, and then of course the theater. The theater is something that I could not be more excited about. As I mentioned at the beginning, we've been wanting to do something like this for a while now. It kind of introduces a whole other community aspect of what can we do besides just this live right now. What else can we do here, right? So very, very excited to have that live. And then, okay, let's dive into some of the other things. I'm going to remove this because it's so distracting.
Yeah.
Okay. So other things, Pixels trivia. This is one that I'm also incredibly excited for. So if you haven't done it yet, question 1 is still live. We're giving you guys some extra time just because it was released a little bit late in the day, and we want to give you at least 24 hours for every question. So if you don't know what Pixels trivia is yet, Basically, for 28 days, for 4 weeks, every single day, there's going to be a new question posted in Terravilla. There's a sign that you click on right in front of the pet store. And all you have to do is answer the question, and you'll be entered to win some really big prizes. So every day, we're going to look at all of the people that answered the question correctly and randomly choose a winner, and they will be sent 10,000 berry just for answering a question right. Okay. Big deal. Every week, we will look at the same thing. So people that answered all of the questions, and if someone answered all of them right, they will win an apiary. So there will be one person per week winning an apiary as well, which is crazy. And then at the end of this 28 days, we're going to look at who answered every single question, and if there are people that answered every single question right, which I will be blown away if so. One of those people, a random winner will come from them as well, and they will win an NFT farmland with an apiary on it. So it's huge. I'm really excited about this. So as I said, question 1 is still live. This one's live a little bit longer than the rest, but every single day at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I think is 4 p.m. GMT, you can go to Discord and see there's like a localized timestamp for what your time is of the daily update, but make sure that you're answering those questions every single day. Even if you don't know the answer, take a shot in the dark. They're always 4 answer multiple choice. So that's a big one. Really, really fun. Okay, we have the Quantum Recombinator is now live in the landowner basement, and that is the only way that you can craft potato seeds. Now, at the moment, potato seeds are a little elusive in what they are for, but as Luke hinted at, we have a big update coming next week, and they might be more useful. That's all I'm gonna say. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna like point you in the direction of something kind of fun. Go and look at the blueprints. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. What else? We have a new mayor. So Chicken Pet is our new mayor, and as for his choices, he chose to host 2 energy parties, so similar to last month, and I will organize with him on dates and times all around that. His second really fun option is you can now have a chicken head as your Pixels avatar, similar to the bunny. There's a chicken available now, so if you want to swap over to that, do it right now. It's really fun. I'm really excited with how that turned out. So, and for his bad option, because as you know, mayors have to choose at least one bad option. Crop sell prices when you go to sell your crops have been lowered by roughly 20%. So,
Ooh.
Yeah. That's everything. Big update. And like Luke said, there's another big update coming in a week. Mm-hmm. So get ready for that.
Yeah, also just a few other notes before we bring up the Forge team too. We also released the Pixel Runners yesterday. We did like the first drop of 1,000 of them. There'll be a few more drops coming out. So these are going to be a 10,000 supply item, the Genesis Runners essentially. We burned 30 million berry yesterday with this runner drop. So we're experimenting a lot with, ways that we can make berry a bit more useful. And we're really into the idea of utility items and items to just make the game like a bit more fun and exciting. And we have more stuff like that planned. So really good first proof point on, berry utility there, and ways that we can kind of think about short-term ways that we can burn that token. So 30 million berry burn, that's huge. There's going to be more and more of those released over the course of the time. We'll be more aware of time zones as well. So make sure that you're paying attention. We'll probably drop them in different time zones as we go on over the next month or so. But yeah, awesome stuff there. That's going to allow us to do some more interesting things in terms of incentives with Barry. And then, yeah, one more time, I just want to reemphasize, we really appreciate you all being here and being so active. It's because of you that we're like a top 5 to 6 game on, Web3 as a whole. That's nuts, guys. Like, top 5. I think we were number 4 yesterday in terms of Web3 games. And then, what am I cutting out?
A little bit.
Darn bummer. So yeah, number 4 in terms of Web3 games yesterday. And then, number 1 on Polygon. So congrats to all of you guys for helping us get here. Again, we're building this together, and, your support and your playing is huge. So, we should all be really proud of that. And yeah, with that, I guess we can start to bring on the Forge team, and we're super excited to have them on. Again, they're the team behind Tastemakerz. They're the team who are, building some really, really interesting stuff. So Yeah, excited to have all of you on.
Hey, is Rocket Flash joining us as well?
Just me and Harry, I think, for the moment. Yeah, but yeah, all the important people are right here, obviously. So yeah, thank you for having us on, guys. And honestly, it's been such a wild ride. So yeah, obviously I'll introduce myself. So I'm Chaz. I'm the TMO at Forge, and Forge, of course, being the parent brand of Tastemakerz, who of course have famously worked with Pixels to create this incredible Burgers Challenge game, which has just been absolutely on fire. So I'm sure we'll get into that, and I'll let Harry introduce himself because he's more important than
me. we are equally important. Yeah, so like Forge CEO here. So Forge is a subsidiary of Animoca Brands, and yeah, we have been supporting, incubating many of the projects within the Animoca ecosystem. And the pixel campaigns that we have done with the Tastemaker is just fantastic. Not only that we see this like high retention, we also see like the community really, let's like be a wise community, like share the good vibes. We see damn show, right? It's featuring yeah, like the experience. Maybe it's like first time like she played and she fell in love with it. And this is her first time to make this kind of burgers, right, in the journey. And we also have Grateful, which is Luke was on. So yeah, many apes came together to enjoy the experience in Pixel. So we really find that experience yeah, to be successful. And yeah, the result show us like 1 million burgers made, which is awesome. So yeah, really glad to be here.
Yeah, the stats on the Tastemakerz experience actually kind of blew me away, specifically around the retention as well too. It's interesting in games, retention is a really good form of kind of deciding how good a game is, or how engaged an audience is. And what we saw with the Tastemakerz challenge was we saw like 70 to 80% day one retention. And by day 30, it was still something like 30%, which is actually pretty insane. This is like day by day retention. This isn't monthly retention. So that means a user who was playing on the first day, what's the likelihood that they're coming back on the 28th day specifically? And it was that high. You guys played a lot. And yeah, it was a super interesting challenge with that really high engagement. And then it was really interesting incorporating some of the, like the secondary Yuga IPs. So, you know, integrating Serum and stuff like that. Yeah, I would love for you guys to just kind of explain to our audience again. I know you probably have before already, like what exactly Tastemakerz is trying to accomplish and what's kind of the whole greater vision behind it.
Harry, do you want that one?
Yeah, like for sure. Right? Tastemaker is an education guild we established because we have seen like in our ecosystem, like we need this type of like characters, which, you know, like before you go to a restaurant, you would head to Google, right? Yeah, like for reviews. And like these are the people that we have. We call them Tastemaker, which is the trendsetters. They are willing to try new things, like from doing shooter threats, like 10 posts, 20 posts, to break down the game walkthrough, how it works, to live stream, right? So we have a members like Orangey, right? And like the damn show, right? At heart, and also like maybe like who is like sharing the experience live and then getting more people understanding what the experience like. And then yeah, like we also have a research report, right, which is done by the guild. So we share, right, in-depth reports from time to time to be use an analytical lens to analyze the market. So this is the members like having the have a team like to support, right, with many of the GameFi projects within the Yuga ecosystem to wider Animoca ecosystem. And other than that, we also have story, right? So the story about Wabi. So Wabi is the taste master, the chef, like who teaches all the apes here to how to cook. So in the very beginning of the mission here, up to Duki Dash Ride, and we have like Curtis friends, which is like Malo, Caesar, right, and Ace. So they ran to the portal and then like find ways that they can really like find food to feed them. So the first thing that they think of is the burgers, which is going to be that 4 burgers that they're looking for. So yeah, they went to the portal and headed to our Pixels and then started that burger ingredient gardening journey. Right, so it's a storytelling experience that we are bringing into by gathering physical brands like Serum Drink, Bowl Burgers into experience like this. What we see is that the brands is on a journey, and Pixel is one of the destination. And the thing is like, how can we continuously bring more like BAYC IP kind of brands into the ecosystem, into the game. So that would like further increase that retention because people have purpose to come back again and again. And we see it's kind of a learn zero sum. Each party is like win here, right? Physical brands here might get more customers, like brand kind of a support. On the other hand, we see the BAYC IP also gets more utility. And then finally, like Pixels, we've seen like strong retention from that activation too. So yeah, I do see this kind of win-win that for everyone who participates. So yeah, that's basically what we see. That's working very well, like for Tastemaker and how Tastemaker works. But Charles, you have anything else to add on the top?
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at Tastemakers, I came from, not to go too much into my background, but I came from a very Web 2 company. I came from KPMG and into Web 3, and obviously very, very different world. And for people, it's a good couple of years ago now. I've been in this space, so it feels like a very long time. But certainly when going into this space, you might be saying to yourself, how do I not only understand and appreciate the culture of Web 3, but actually immerse myself in a community of innovators, of kind of key opinion leaders, and people who are genuinely just interested in supporting each other in not just research and obviously understanding what's going on in the markets and what's going on with things like Yuga IP and other kind of IP around the Web3 ecosystem, but also just kind of insights around new technologies, everything you can think of. And basically, Tastemakers is that community. It's a ready-made community of like-minded, enthusiastic Web3 innovators, essentially, early adopters, if you want to get into the technical terms, and obviously, of course, we demonstrate, we sort of, not only do we teach and we have a number of great partnerships with some of the great leaders in our field. We have Yatsu from Animoca, we have Sebastian from Sandbox, who's a guest lecturer, I suppose you call him. We have partnerships with major research companies like Binance, NFT, and also Nansen and others that we some of which may not have been announced yet. But the point being, we are all about providing people with the resources and the means to teach themselves to fish, right? And Harry, a good example he mentioned there is the whole idea of the burger challenge. Actually, the burger was a metaphor for a Twitter thread. The idea is you make the perfect burger. We had this wonderful story based on Wabi, who's our kind of primary character, but we also had Bored Apes, Forge-owned Bored Apes. These are our owned IP. Being immersed in the story, we had, I remember, Luke, we actually sat there and came up with the names ourselves on the call, didn't we? So we had Caesar, Marlowe, and Ace. These characters, that played a significant role, and they actually feature in the news story as well. I don't know if you've seen Chapter 2. If you haven't yet, go on the Tastemakers Twitter account. Well into Chapter 2 now. And the apes are hungry, put it that way. Anyway, the point being that being able to integrate that IP into the game, it was us demonstrating this is how Web3 gaming is so much different to other gaming ecosystems and platforms. You don't tend to see Mario in Sonic, although I know it has been done. Don't get technical on me, but my point is that it's not like people have the option of a decentralized IP that they can take themselves and place into a game. No questions asked. And we're showing how that story can be taken from the Bored Ape ecosystem into Pixels. And of course, you guys have been just amazing, and the Serum partnership as well. What a fantastic story that was. Being able to get them in with this kind of fun actual product you could get and actually would give you energy in the game. I absolutely love that idea, as because that was just obviously a project that we know and love, and we know the Serum guys well, and they're just fantastic, and it was great to be able to use their product as a bit of a surprise in the game. And it was actually something that we only told them about very last minute. It was a bit of a surprise for them, but they were, I think they were happy about it. So this is all part of what it is, being a tastemaker. And as Harry said, tastemakers is actually a term as a Brit I hadn't come across. I think I know the term as zeitgeist to be if that's a fancy word you've heard before. But essentially, a trendsetter, someone who's at the forefront of new things. And so that's what Tastemakers is all about. Get in, be at the forefront of all the new things coming in, but also, learn as you're doing it. And we have some, incredible resources, modules, all sorts of things to help you level up in Web3. So, I'd say that's a TLDR, but that was really, really long. So sorry about that.
Oh, that was great. That was so helpful. What we really liked and enjoyed about working with you guys is you guys get the whole concept of Web3 gaming. And for us, it's the interoperability, and it's not thinking about things like it's a zero sum. It's the openness of everything, where, there's tons of opportunity to, collaborate and work with other projects and build something really interesting that wasn't possible in Web 2. So yeah, working with a partner who kind of understands that ethos is obviously well connected in the space. It's been really awesome. I know our users are dying to know what's next for Tastemakers. If you guys have anything that you want to share on that, or any ideas that you guys are thinking.
Yeah, like we have tons of brands within the UGI ecosystem, like from 50 in August to right now 287, and it's growing very rapidly, about 10%, right, month to month. Not only the small brands here, indie brands like Serum Drinks, right, Born Hungry, and like 8 Badges. Like we also have like global brands like Gucci, Adidas, like Puma too. So many of the brands that did approach to us is like, wow, like this experience so successful. How can we potentially integrate some of the game item characters and experience into it too? So yeah, like that's gonna be exciting. So at the moment, we trying to figure out which brand would fit the experience as the story goes on. But we already have our kind of second recipe that in the work. Like for this month. So for people who have not been to Tastemakers, every single month, like we have basically a recipe, right? Which is like we teach do a workshop. So last month is True Threat, and this month is actually about pitch deck. The recipe is hot pots, the Nabi Mono, which is really interesting. Next month we have more, right? Which we invite guest speakers to share tools and to navigate in Web3. Like at the moment, we're still in the planning phase, seeing such success, and we do want to continue, right, that food experience at the same time, making sure the partners complementary too, that they can also bring their user in and to result in win-win for all. But overall, like it's great case studies, like for many of the ecosystem projects, from Polygon to Animoca to like Yuga Labs, to learn more about it. Given that retention really is focused right now for Web3 gaming, the ability to retain user and get them their attention to get back again and again is so key. So we learn a lot in this journey, but we do find that there are really a lot of brands are reaching out to us, and we really look forward to introduce again what comes to next.
Yeah, and actually, in case it wasn't obvious from our flashy backgrounds, we're part of Animoca. Naturally, there are a number of Animoca ecosystem projects that we've already reached out to and actually have got something in the works. Actually, if you want to get cryptic with it, there's actually, I've just realized my background is a slightly old background compared to Harry's, and just to say that one of those potential partners may not be in my screen and may be in Harry's screen. So it's we have some really exciting partnerships coming up.
People are going to screenshot that for sure, dig into that so much.
Luckily, there's a couple. It's still ambiguous.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one alpha already been shared, right? This one right there, right? That code figure.
Yes.
Yeah, they're quick. Okay, sweet.
We've got a really good question if you guys want to talk about this one here. So did the team learn any lessons from the burger challenge that you'll adjust next time? More quests, staggering quests out more, closing the restaurant 1 to 2 days a week?
Yeah, I can tackle this one, Harry. We actually, here's a bit of an insight into it. We one thing I would say is that we had some really interesting concepts that we wanted to activate sort of halfway through, and we realised that it was probably a bit much to try and do everything at once. A bit of I guess a tease is that there may be more coming for the burger restaurant later down the line, but that's one key lesson is obviously don't bite off more than you can chew. Keep it simple. I think another lesson, of course, is working with the Pixels team. Honestly, we've never worked with a team that's so wonderfully agile and able to deal with a lot of the complexities that come with developing a Web3 game at speed. and obviously with a number of things thrown at them. And I only wish you could have seen just how hard these guys are working behind the scenes. Honestly, it was an absolute testament to your team and the quality of your team as well. I think a key learning is I'd probably ensure that Tyler and Luke didn't have so many sleepless nights getting everything done in time. So I think 100%. In terms of the gameplay, I mean, to be honest with you, the stats speak for themselves. I feel like it was just really, really, really good. Would love to hear your feedback, of course, if there was elements of the game that you think could be improved, more we could do to sort of keep it interesting over the full 4-week period. And of course going forward as well, because the game hasn't, it's very much still there. You can still flip your burgers, and I think you should go out there.
I don't think you can flip your burgers right now. We remove the stations.
Just for a little bit, yeah. But I think we're going to leave it up after that.
Okay.
Here, I can speak on this really quickly. So yeah, one thing that we're really interested in exploring with, I think we want to probably experiment with more, is the prize structure as well too. We've noticed the incentive structure behind prizes and all of this. This is like kind of the first time we've experimented with this, like the prize pools for the top 10 players, and then also top 100, top 1000. Honestly, activated players way more than we thought. So number one, even just on the pixel side of things, we are pretty interested in doing some more stuff like this because we just saw it work really well here. And then we'll be announcing prizes by the end of the week, hopefully. So right now what we're doing is we're cleaning up the leaderboard. We're taking out all of the cheaters out of the system so that you guys will have updated ranks. We have a team going through that right now, and we'll release the final ranks, and final prizes will be announced.
Cool. We've got some people giving feedback now. So, many felt 4 weeks was too long and lack of updated leaderboard. Would have liked a second quest, maybe broken into further quests. So this is all really valuable feedback that we will definitely take into account when we do something like this again. So continue to tell us always. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we listen.
One of the things I like is user generating, right? Viable social fi content here. We have Grateful sharing like 10 posts in the threads, right? Live streams, and we also seen people who do not know how to make burgers, right? And then they made long tutorials. So what we see is a journey, and in this journey, people who are quick learners, and they take initiative, right, to teach others. At the same time, others have a gradually learned what is the best way to make the recipe. And when this kind of mutual learning happen, that's where community is building together and forming that positive collaborative culture. So echo back with that, the first question is how can we make the games as in a level that's everyone's leveling up, right? So by the time that we do second, third missions, and we have enough audience, right, in that batch cohort, right, to educate, right, the new audience, and they feel proud of it. And I think that is that process that is in the games, you level up from 110 to 20. And obviously here we don't have that level, but we do see, right, the OG here is carrying on that missions, being the mentor, being the teacher to teach the newer players. So that's very positive culture that we have seen here. So that's kind of my quick feedback on this.
Yeah, the UGC content also that came out of this game so quickly was quite incredible. And I know you just basically touched on a lot of it, but the leaderboard, someone created a leaderboard that you could ask to add your wallet to, and it would live update faster than the in-game one did, right? And all the tutorials you spoke on as well, it was truly incredible to see how quickly the community responded to helping each other out to get through this. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to the Pixels content creators who were so helpful with onboarding our incoming players. So player W3, Hath, NFT Cal. You guys all did a really amazing job helping people come into the ecosystem. And you guys are part of the reason why Pixels is growing and retaining users as well as it is. You guys are a key part of this ecosystem now.
Absolutely. Okay, if you guys have any questions and you're hanging out in game, I know we don't have the ability to do it quite yet, so you'll have to go over to the YouTube link, YouTube live feed, and enter your questions in there, and we can pull them up like you've been seeing us do so far. So if you have any questions, get them in as soon as possible, because we're keeping an eye on them.
Before you move on, Heidi, I haven't actually shared this with you, Luke, but we did a bit of an analysis about the game and how it performed across social. And we had, I think it was around 4.5 million what they call potential impressions. There's just like huge volume of messages around this. But you talk about video content. This was super interesting. Something like, around about 80% of all content was video content. Related to video content. So it just goes to show how much people are sharing their experiences of the game, and obviously there was various different live streams going on. Obviously we had our launch live stream and the closing live stream as well. You guys did, really, really successful, and it just goes to show how much people were sort of enjoying sharing their experiences, which is so good to see. Honestly, it's such a sort of community-driven game. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those stats are amazing. And like you said, we're a community-driven game. We truly are. We wouldn't be here without each and every single one of you watching today or hanging out in the theater or farming some scarrets and not listening at all. Seriously, we wouldn't be here without you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here's a question here. Will there be other Genesis rare items made available this month in addition to the running shoes? So I was going to say no, but then we've got the thing coming next week. So
yeah, I mean, part of the reward for Tastemakers in this leaderboard is, an exclusive item for the people who are in top 100, top 1000. And we really like the idea of tying this item into future gameplay as well. So it's going to be an add-on for some of the stuff that we have coming up in releases, which I know all of you are really excited about. We want to make sure that this prize is worth it. You guys put a lot of time and energy and effort into playing the game, and we want to keep doing this. So we want to make you guys feel like the reward that you got was worth it.
Utility. Keyword. Okay, let's look through here. Okay.
Yeah, lots of questions around some Pixel stuff that we released.
Yeah, it's more Pixels related stuff. So I'll pull up some of those for now. So thank you for releasing Goodcraft Identities. Luke, do you want to just speak to this at all?
Yeah, totally. We'll announce more with that. We're really excited about opening up our tooling and infrastructure for UGC and other games. And, that's kind of the whole point of the Pixel Token launch when we're getting there. So Pixel Token is coming. We'll make more official announcements on what you can expect in terms of dates and timelines. There's so much stuff going on in the back end with that, where we want to make sure everything's really dialed in and tight. And we want to make sure that we're working with the best partners too. So that's kind of what's going on the back end right now as well, where, we're trying to make sure that we have the best possible launch that we can. And we want to put ourselves in a position with the best people that we can possibly be working with. So there's stuff around that coming. And then, as we start to release the Pixel Token, that's also coming with our tooling around user-generated content. And we're going to help facilitate, the ability to create more stuff around other communities like Gridcraft. I know there's a few other communities there's actually a ton of communities on the wait list to use this tooling already. And we're super excited about the possibilities. But yes, that's coming. We're super excited about what this Pixel Token will unlock in terms of that. And that's kind of the whole thing that we've been working for so hard for the last year and a half, getting to this point. We're almost there.
Okay. Okay. Why is my llama suddenly giant? Okay, so I'm going to dive very quickly into how your avatars work. So basically, you have an NFT collection, and then an artist actually completely redraws the entire collection, each and every trait, to have every single animation. So it's actually an incredible amount of work, incredible amount of art files. They're called sprite sheets. Sprites are like the little animation of your pixel art developed character. And when we first started integrating, let's just say our art requirements were a little bit relaxed, and that kind of created art that was all different sizes. And for a long time, we were making them all the same size, but that also meant that the pixel art was kind of getting shrunk in weird ways and not looking totally right. So one of our developers took it upon himself to go in and look at the size of all of the avatars and make them not weirdly squished and all of that. And that meant that some of them are enormous and some of them are really small.
Yeah, so it's utility.
In progress. If you've seen this, Secret Society of Whales are enormous, and then Pixel Beasts are cute and little, which they kind of should be, right? So.
Oh, one thing that maybe I want to ask you while we have you here too is, do you want to dig into your AIP proposal and talk about that a bit? I think our community might be interested.
Definitely. So, well, take it away. I guess this is.
Yeah, get started. So, after 9 months of building this like kind of IP map like for the Yuga ecosystem, we found that there are many of the projects, right, to struggle to gain user tractions and revenue, right, including some of the physical brands that we mentioned before. So we started this AIP, AIP 209, which stands for Ape Accelerator, to support Ape point adoptions and also EAYC IP adoption for the use of launchpads plus project incubation. So in our 2-year journey, we have made significant contribution, but we found that for us, it's like this is the next level that we can support the project more by strategically coordinating, right, the stories into some of the games, and at the same time getting many of the projects support on funding. So that's what the proposal is for. But Charles, maybe you can add some into it to add more context too.
Yeah, of course. This is obviously something that has been in the works for a while now, and something that we passionately believe in. And you can see from what we've done with Tastemakerz, right? This idea of growing an ecosystem through integration of IP and launching new products. And many founders and innovators don't necessarily have the tools or the resources or the strategic guidance that can be offered via an accelerator. So this is the accelerator. I think sometimes people see it as just a launch pad. The launch pad is really the tip of the iceberg. It's everything that happens before the launch pad, right? So if you imagine you're a new project coming to us, we provide you with, obviously that's assuming that once we've done our due diligence, if we find that you have a viable, credible concept and it's something that we believe is right for market, then we'll take you through and give you all the strategic guidance you need. Everything from tokenomics to your go-to-market strategy. We have obviously a number of great contacts that we can utilize, not only up here, but also from having been in this space for so many years. We've been here doing NFTs since 2020, which not many people can say. And we've built up a ton of contacts, and we can utilize those to make sure these projects have the best opportunities. And then, of course, we also have run a launchpad very successfully for a number of years as well. So when it comes to the actual sales part as well, which is where projects can raise funds either through a token raise or NFT raise or other product raises, there's a launchpad aspect as well, which is something that we obviously use to enable projects to get sort of essentially community support. And so ultimately, it's all about helping the whole ecosystem. And I think people often kind of see it for the sort of capital raise thing at the end of it, which is the launchpad. But actually, if you think about what it's doing, it's almost like an engine for ecosystem growth, isn't it? You're only putting in projects that are going to benefit the ecosystem. And if the ecosystem supports those projects, then of course it's going to encourage more projects to come in because you see the attractiveness of the ecosystem, and it grows and it grows and it grows. So without something like this, it can be hard, I think, for new projects to see the benefit of joining an ecosystem. So it's just a way of kind of ensuring that there's that constant flow of new innovative products, good quality products and projects that the community can support and see grow. So yeah, ultimately it's something that I think we firmly believe that we're best placed to deliver for the ApeCoin DAO, and absolutely something that doesn't already exist, and for that reason vote for us. But the vote actually ends, it's 2:00 in the morning my time, so I'm going to be in bed because my kids are up at 5 in the morning. It's absolutely brutal. But it's 9 p.m. I think in EDT, and obviously that would make it 5 p.m. I suppose in your time, Luke. So that's 5
hours and 20 minutes.
Yes. That's exciting.
Soon. It ends soon, yeah. So if you haven't already, and obviously you have to have ApeCoin to vote. That's a caveat. It is obviously the ApeCoin DAO. But if you do have ApeCoin and you haven't voted for us, please do go and check it out. And actually, whether you vote for us or against us, or just abstain, just go check it out, see what it's all about. And obviously, every piece of feedback is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I can speak on the talent behind Forge and their team. They're advising us on a lot of our tokenomics, and very, very on top of it team, very talented team, very smart team. I'm really excited to see what they do with the accelerator. Even for me, we did startup accelerators back in the past, and they were crucial to us building and actually becoming a legitimate company in the space. having guidance on the early stages of company building and project building is extremely important. And this team definitely has that experience and the knowledge to do that. So yeah, I'm super excited to see what they do with that accelerator. And yeah, good luck on the vote.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, we'll slip you $10 after this.
Yeah, I'm not a KOL influencer. I just really like it.
But no, really appreciate it. Obviously, I'm blushing. Honestly, it's it's very kind words.
Okay, so I have a fun question to ask all three of you. So from day one, starting conversations about the possibility of what we could build here to sitting here today, what was your favorite point in time or your favorite part of this whole process? Harry, do you want to start?
Yeah, I think the process where like grateful, like he picks up the games from, he's actually not a gamer at all, like, but he's willing to try it out because BYCIP to him is like he wants to become the advocates and support, right? And then he take initiative to do that, and then he fell in love with it, right? I see that moment and of recognition, and then taking their time to try it out, and then feel that wow, they really love the game. It's that aha moment. I think that's crucial, to me. So I see many of these moments happen again and again for many of the like BYC holders too, other communities holders too. So yeah, I want this to happen more and more. But yeah, it's that kind of moment of time that made me feel that memorable.
Awesome.
So for me, Heidi, it's got to be the live stream, the launch live stream. Honestly, that was so much fun. It was like being in a virtual rave. It was just honestly the atmosphere, the community. I think I said at the time, it felt like being at the height of the bull market again. Everyone involved, everyone excited, everyone just getting involved. Lots of buzz, lots of noise, and on top of that, the obviously the Serum partnership, Luke. Again, I really don't want to give away too much about what happened behind the scenes, but that was such an epic integration for so many reasons. And I think just having that come to life during the live stream, everyone getting involved, Serum seeing it, loving it, retweeting it, just honestly the sort of buzz around it. I wish I could show you the spike on our charts of all the mentions. It's literally through the roof. So that was really, really fun for me.
That was a really fun event. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I had the worst cold ever. I was so ill that day. And that was the only thing I did that day was like sit and watch. I had like 2 screens. I had you guys there. I had our Discord. I had Twitter open. I was just going. It was so much fun to watch and just see it all come to life. And like you said, honestly, every time we throw these big events, our community is so incredible. It feels like a bull market for like those few hours that we're just like launching. Right now, if you go to the theater right now, it's nuts.
Yeah, there's 141 players in the game right now.
so awesome.
The theater. So anyways, yeah, it's been great. Luke, do you want to say your piece?
Yeah, I don't know. When I started to see the restaurant come together and see it in game, I thought that was the coolest thing where it's like, oh, we're actually like taking this, real IP, getting it in the game. Yeah, I don't know. I just get a lot of satisfaction out of when, we just like move on something really quickly. So yeah, just like going from conversations about, hey, what if we did this? And I think we like showed them a demo of the game like 2 weeks later. Yeah, that was super fun to have that. And like the initial reactions from all of you when we started to demo it, that's what I get a lot of excitement out of.
Yeah, honestly, again, look, I can't emphasize enough how fast you guys. It's honestly, it's warp speed. It's exactly what Web3 should be. Just getting on with it, and just the turnaround was just incredible. So obviously, testament to the way you built the game as well. The fact you can create these experiences so quickly and with such good quality as well. It's just amazing to see.
Okay, I guess I'll give my side of this too. As someone that wasn't very involved in the building of it, obviously seeing the art was really fun, but my moment was, I think about 2 weeks in, I had been really incredibly busy. I wasn't able to play the game as much as I would like to. I got addicted to it. I was addicted. I don't know if you guys watched our closing party, but it was basically me just like trying to make as many Yanyan rings as I could. I actually made the top 1,000 users, so I'm very proud of myself.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my moment. And it's really funny, Harry, you mentioned, oh, this person isn't really a gamer. That's something we've talked about a lot in the past, because I think the stereotype of a gamer is totally backwards because it does not include women, first of all, and it only really talks about a certain type of generally male person sitting with their Xbox in their basement, right? But there's so many different types of players. And I lean into the casual gaming. You know, I love those like little mini games on my phone. And to me, this was kind of like a mini game in pixels. And so it got me going. It got me really addicted. And it was really fun to watch and play and make the top 1,000. So we'll see what the rewards are for that because I will be receiving it.
Nice.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, it's funny because when Heidi joined Pixel, she was like telling me, "Oh, I'm not really a gamer or anything like that," but she's like, "Oh yeah, I like kind of play Candy Crush. I'm like level like 3,000 or something like that," and she's actually such a hardcore gamer in like the casual game side of things, where she's like further through some of these mini games or casual games on like mobile than like 99.99% of people. Where yeah, the demographic of gaming it's not just like first-person shooters. It's not just MOBAs. You know, there's a whole different category of gaming that we're trying to tap into, rather than just that side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I destroy mini games actually. I have a few games on my phone that are just I'm probably in top percentile. But anyways, that was my favorite moment. It was a lot of fun, kind of getting addicted to I need to get on this leaderboard. I need to grind as much as I could during balancing work, of course, but
yeah, I think it's a testament. I mean, obviously, those are such amazing moments, but just seeing the community talking about the game, posting videos, posting sort of run-throughs and walkthroughs and TLDRs and all sorts of updates about their scores and stuff. That for me, throughout the entire process, was just so great to see. People genuinely excited that they've made so many young rings and. On our Tastemakerz Discord, the community just giving each other tips on recipes and things. It was just, honestly, it really did. It really brought out like I don't know, I'd say the kid in us, but it's obviously much more than that. It's just that sort of, as you say, that sort of, I'm a casual gamer and I like the idea of just dipping in and out, but you know what, this is so addictive. And it took me back to a game that most of you won't know called Space Quest, where there's a similar, not a similar thing. We had to make a burger and you had to keep doing it to earn little coins. And I just played it for days. It was just, honestly, it was so much fun. Something about making burgers, I think, just really sort of taps into something. So yeah, amazing.
Yeah, the minute Pixels works on mobile, I will be playing 24/7 and it will be,
when mobile, Luke.
Mobile, Luke.
soon, very soon.
Very soon, yeah. No, it was all really good answers. I love hearing the little tidbits of excitement that come from it all. And like you said on the UGC, I know we talk about UGC so much, but it's honestly mind-blowing, the incredible UGC that's been created. I think the first time I saw someone pop in our Discord and post like a spreadsheet of the breakdown of everything you could possibly think of or not even think of, like it's so beyond Tastemakerz related. I know I threw that in our Slack channel and we hadn't even really talked much in the past. And I was like, hey, you might want to see this, How did you feel seeing that spreadsheet? Like, how did that feel, that moment of like the intense breakdown of everything?
You know what, I going back a good few years, I worked for a couple of really big brands and specifically in social media as well. And I cannot tell you the amount of money we threw at campaigns, UGC based. I mean, we're talking like 100, if not, nearly $1 million at one point, directed at people to try and convince them to do the kind of thing that person did right there, which is to really become an advocate for the game. So for me, I tell you what, it was super proud because I was sitting there going, that would have cost me $50,000. If back in the day, I'd have paid very good money to have someone that passionate about a game that they'd be willing to go to that level of detail and breaking it down. But only not just that, helping others as well. They can have that spreadsheet and keep it and just have it for themselves because it's a really helpful spreadsheet. But they've shared it with the community, and that's what Web3 is all about. That's why we're here. That's the revolution right there. If there's just one analogy, it's someone doing all that work and then choosing to share it rather than hoard it and benefit, just themselves. So no, super proud moment. And I'll be honest, I couldn't comprehend how complex it was. There was so many different combinations. I was just like, this is far beyond my puny brain, but amazing effort.
Yeah. No, I feel that exact way. There are so many of spreadsheets of those kinds for every single industry, every single little thing in the Pixels game as well. And I feel that way. A lot of them too. They post them. I'm like, I'm just gonna go farm.
Yeah, no, it keeps us on top of it too. I mean, if we have any mistake in balance, our users let us know very quickly.
Oh yeah, very, very, very quickly. And it's really cool. So actually kind of going back to the type of gamer too, right? There's different personas of your type of gamer. So me and maybe Chaz, like looking at the spreadsheet, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go farm. Like, I'm just gonna go click on some stuff. You know, we are the casual gamers, and then there's the adventure gamers, and you know that they like to explore and find things. And I think our game really caters to that style of gamer as well. And then there's of course these, I don't know what you would even name them, just like intense gamers that are just, they break down the algorithms beyond,
like code crackers, I call them. Like they are looking for the code of the game. How can I sort of crack this and
screenshots of our API posted in general chat, and they're like, Heidi, what is this? I'm like, let me go find out. Anyways, yeah. So it's so wonderful bringing like all of these different kinds of people together into one place. It truly is. So thank you for allowing us to, explore this further through the Tastemakers game and bringing on this different activities and utility and all of that. It's been really wonderful.
Certainly has been. And 1 million burgers, I think something that people probably won't be aware of is, I don't know about you guys, but I had absolutely no, I was like, if we make it to 100,000 burgers, we need to get a big celebration going. And I'm watching the burgers coming in on a daily basis. I'm like, how is it they're going up? Every day there's more and more burgers being made. It's like 30,000, 35,000, 40,000. By the end of it, we're getting nearly 60, I think on the final day it was like 60,000 burgers or close to being made in that day. Yeah. And it took us, I was like, oh, we can, maybe we should tell the guys we're like, 750,000 burgers made with a couple of days to go. We'll never make it to 1 million, but we can always kind of chuck it in there as a stretch target, and we just go and hit it. Honestly, I just could not believe it. Amazing result, and so happy. And we mentioned, we'll do a little something to celebrate that, because that is such a mind-blowing achievement. It's such a big achievement. We didn't even know it was coming. It took us by surprise.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Just such a great.
Yeah. From our end, we also have the Twitter threads ran up a lot too. Over 500 Twitter threads written, and many of them actually include the Pixel game experience too. So we encourage people to buy from read zero experience to starting pick up the tools and templates, right? To sharing their have journey. And I think that's something that's special for them, because right now they're equipped with tools and they can do independent analysis, and they can play potentially other games and have similar skills too. I see that's something that really adds value to many of them. And we have this kind of a Twitter thread challenge, right? That's 30 days. So at the final have a day, we have hit more than 500. So that's huge milestones from someone who has never written before, but getting the group right, to write all together. So on our end, we also have integrated Pixel Games Night into our workshop. And every time we have done that, and then all this have listeners in the audience also join too in the game, right? They're not just listening, but they're evolving together and collaborating. Alomati is the one of the active students and audience in the channel. So he basically shared us his house tour, and we gotta check it out. He said about the best practices, and we thought that we were the teaching, but he's actually teaching us how to navigate in Pixels too. So this is great experience that we get to teach each other, and really have fun this journey too.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then we do have this question too. How do you see Pixels and Tastemakers in the future? Question to everyone. So I'll answer that quickly too, and then I'm curious to hear your guys' answers as well. But we're in the planning stages of something else right now. We're really interested. We saw on our end, we saw really good engagement inside of our community, so there's interest on our end to continue things. It's not zero sum; it's mutually beneficial, and we really like the activation around this. We loved what can be next out of this. So planning stages for something else. I'm not sure if you guys want to share anything else, or if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on that.
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned in the earlier questions, like bring more complementary brands, and then like get more like audience that aside from like BYC Yuga community to just like enjoy it, right? It's because it's like great utility added like for like the IP ecosystem. So yeah, like, there's going to be tons of more that's coming. So like stay tuned. Pass it to Charles.
Well, yeah, and actually also on the flip side as well, of course, Luke, we have yourself and the team coming into the Tastemakers community to give us a kind of an insider's view on developing Web3 games, and that'd be a really interesting opportunity for the community to learn directly from the people doing it and your experiences, kind of, and how you navigated some of the sort of challenges and opportunities in the space as well. So it obviously works both ways. Obviously there's an opportunity to learn from you and how you develop your incredible games. In terms of things we're doing with you in the Pixels world, as I mentioned, we've got a couple of really exciting kind of brands that we want to do something with you, and of course we're working on that. So watch this space, and hopefully. I mean, look, we've set the bar, haven't we? I mean, it's pretty high. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah, we also got a question around this, and this I don't know if I want to leak any alpha, and I think that's a leak in itself. But yeah, any alpha on the other side land usage for Tastemakers and Pixels? No comment is what I'm going to say.
I don't know. I think the only person in this room who probably has the authority to give any more information is Harry. So I will I'll pass over the responsibility to him.
I mean, yesterday is a big news, so just like share from the other side, right? So they have looks like they have a game is coming, and it's gonna be happening very soon. Heavy Metal was revealed, and the collection was like amazing, and so many different combos, and the communities I fell in love with it. And then Legend of the Mara, we have seen like what the gameplay looks like, and it's gonna be happening in the summer. Legend of the Mara is built by Animoca Brands. So we do look forward to see like how it goes and how we could support the wider other side ecosystem in the phase 1. It's a 2.5D. And then before other side really opens up to have that immersive experience there. That's the updates that we have like in the community level. Those are kind of public. But in terms of like for Pixels, stay tuned, right? We already see some hints, right? So go pick up some alpha, like by traveling the map, and you will see, right? Some like have a hints there already.
Nothing is by accident, I think, is all we can say.
Oh, that's some tea too. All right. Okay, well, I think we can probably start to wrap this up here. I will just say someone on Discord wanted me to tell you guys to never underestimate the power of the Pixels community grinding. So there you go. And apparently in here, there's a chicken ring. I think you would have to hop off stage and go a bit down to see it, but a lot of people are dressed in the chicken head.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. There's the chicken ring. So you can go join the chicken ring. But anyways, with that.
And you guys, honestly, this community is fantastic. It's just such a great, honestly, so much fun.
Wholesome. It's just wholesome. Anyway, thank you both so much for joining us and obviously building out this entire game with us. It's been such a blast this past month, and of course on the internal side, past few months. So thanks again for everything, and then coming on this live with us, sharing some tea, some alpha,
That is so funny.
It just like feels chaotic with that on the screen. Like I just want to watch what everyone's saying.
Yes, we can.
Oh man. All right. Are there any last minute comments you guys want to say?
Just honestly, thank you so much. Obviously, thank you to the community for taking part. I mean, obviously, as Luke and Heidi said at the start of this, couldn't have done it without you. But I mean, not only could we not have done it without you, I kind of imagined how this possibly could have been done. It's been an incredible ride. Cannot wait for the next iteration of our partnership. Lots more to come, and just keep doing what you're doing. We love you all, and you are you make us want to do bigger and better things. So watch this space.
Yeah, same for me here. Is that I really appreciate everyone who participated, experience. Yeah, like not only you guys made us proud of 1 million burgers, but also sharing a lot of positive vibes in the community. I think that's what Web3 should be: collaborative, decentralized, and yeah, everyone is like teaching each other, right, how to build those burgers. And also props to Pixel's team being so agile and yeah, like build this amazing experience in such a short period of time. And yeah, make everyone have fun, right, during this last month. So yeah, like without any of you participating and without the Pixels team, this would not be possible. So again, kudos to everyone here who participated. Yeah, we look forward to do this another time.
Amazing. Thank you both for such kind words. And with that, I think we can wrap it up here. I do know there were several questions that we did not get to today that were more Pixels related. So if you have those still, throw them in Discord in one of the general chats, tag the community team, the Farmhands team, and we'll try to answer them as best as possible. With that, I think we can wrap it up here. We will see you all next week. And I mean, I'm heading to the theater. Technically, I'm on the stage right now, so I'll go back there. And come maybe join the chicken train. Chicken train. That's like a tongue twister. Chicken train. All right. We'll see you guys next.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.